push all of our failures on them as black men.
Even if you look at the Hispanic population in America, the Hispanic men make less than black men on average, but yet they still have high marriage rates. Why so? If it's all because of resources and lack thereof.
What's up, YouTube? Poor Man Podcast back with another video. Give me the HBO special. That's the Help a Brother Out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Let's get right into the video.
Man, we talk about all the time how women never accept accountability. I just listened to y'all conversation not too long ago. When the women get the kids this and the third, we do not have to fuck none of these girls, bro. I believe everything rises and falls on leadership, and men are the leaders, period. And that's how they are looking at us. And you don't see no white men running around complaining about their women.
Women are becoming their own worst enemies. And I could really title every single video, Women Are Their Own Worst Enemies.
Erroneously, that it's all about long-term security, because that's all they've ever heard their entire life. So when they say, well, don't you think it's important for, to listen to a woman? No, it's not. Not now. Certainly not in this era.
You don't see Asian men walking around complaining about their women.
Let's be honest here. Promiscuity is easy for a woman. Anything that comes easy, it does not build character or demonstrate any kind of value.
The only people that's walking around complaining about their women is that guy up there, the guy on the far right. I'm not.
Hold on. Let me address you then, brother.
So,
wait. We're gonna do this discourse respectfully. We have Poor Man's Podcast, Trey. We're gonna bring him up too.
Bring Trey up.
There you go. Hey, what's up?
Y'all been on this thing for a little minute, huh?
A little minute.
We want to go on a little bit longer so we can have some time for you. Welcome.
Yes.
What? Okay, so what's going on? Was it Louisiana?
Louis. How do you say it?
Yeah, Louis. What's going on, man? What you talking about over here, bro? You said something about, what is it? The lack of resources, or what is it?
I mean, to make a long story short, I just simply said, man, like, women are basically reacting off of us, bro. It's literally where it comes from, and it started from like the crack era, the integration era, all that stuff, man. And it's just when they start taking the jobs away from the black man, and we looking for it's deeper than what I feel is really being discussed. So, and we really put all of our we say women don't accept accountability when it's really which is true. I'm not saying that they don't accept accountability, but I think we do it way more than they do, and we push all of our failures on them as black men.
What do you think about the fact that the reason why African Americans are probably last is because we don't have any family anymore?
But that starts with us.
Does it?
The man is the leader.
We talk about the lack of resources, but during slavery, during Jim Crow, and during segregations, we had the highest marriage rates than any other populace.
I guess
did we have resources while we was married, or we was just married and
we were just married. Even if you look at the Hispanic population in America, the Hispanic men make less than black men on average, but yet they still have high marriage rates. Why so? If it's all because of resources and lack thereof.
No, I'm not saying that's the full source, but I'm just simply saying, like, that's part of the reason. Another part of the reason is that I'm sure that those men accept accountability for their actions, and they know after, and I do believe that they know that the role of the male figure in the household. We done lost that way back then, bro, and we over here trying to learn all of this on the fly. Like, all of this starts from no man in the household, bro.
Yeah. 80% of the households are women, and they've been like that for like 20 years, 30 years. How long has it been like that?
Y'all wonder why women is acting promiscuous, but all this sexual activity they doing, because they daddies ain't putting they daughters on no game, bro, about these men. Why you think men always say, oh, you don't need a man. You don't need a man when you I'm gonna teach you, go get your own. The Cameron Samuels ain't even full all the way thorough with it all the way, because he ain't even like, I was watching a video of his. He said the gospel is of some of the mothers and them is teaching them that you don't need a man, that you want to go get you a job so you don't need a man. Why are they saying that, bro? Why? Just ask yourself, why are they saying that? What in the world was the mother going through for her to even say that, for they even spit out of their mouth, for they even say that to their daughter. What was they saying?
Well, would you assume that it's a different experience than any other demographic in America, even ones that have less than us financially and resourcefully?
I mean, it probably is a different demographic, but that's my whole point. Is like a different experience, but it's just they're. Go ahead. What was that? Go ahead.
I kind of say that to say this. It's very hard to. We have a lot of people that have terms like protect black women, right? But it's very hard to protect black women when if you ask black women what they prefer, they often say hood guys. So when you build a culture where the women in that culture worship the men that are part of the problem in that culture.
What are the type of guys you prefer? Scammer, drug dealer, or 9 to 5?
Drug dealer. I want him to move that weight.
Scammers, you feel me? If your piece is hit, I piece is hit. Scammer. 9 to 5, drug dealer. Funny niggas that get money, 6 foot, I like a scammer.
Scammer at the top, and then 9 to 5 second, and then drug dealer bottom.
Drug dealers. No. 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5.
Drug dealers, 9 to 5.
Then scammers, then drug dealers.
Wow. I mean, I'm used to drug dealers.
You said what?
I'm used to drug dealers.
Drug dealer, and then a scammer, then fuck the 9 to 5.
I want the scammer first, then the drug dealer, then the 9 to 5.
Unfortunately, there are just men that will sleep with women and not take care of their children. That exists amongst every demographic of men. And those men should be cast away. Of course, those men are a part of the problem and should be dealt with. But you'll never get rid of those women or those men. And in the future, and let's just take Future, because I know people you don't like celebrities.
I thought you was gonna use the baby because I was just thinking that.
I could use the baby.
No, because all the men were defending him, and I'm like, what in the world?
No, not
he's
the baby.
He's one of those guys, though. I'm sorry. Go on.
Well, yeah, and the problem is all of those women were saying, "Oh, you need to leave him. You need to do that," and those are the same women that are going to be in his DMs tomorrow. I guarantee it. And that's just the truth. Like, look at somebody like Future. Future has 8 baby mothers. So in this situation, you have one man that is sexually irresponsible, but you have 7 women, because every woman after the first woman knew that he wasn't taking care of his children, but still decided to lay down and open their legs to him. Not only that, but then grant him a child, right? So in this situation, you have one sexually irresponsible man, that is Future, but then you have 7 sexually irresponsible women. And what those women do is they then get online and they say, somebody help me. This guy just ran away from me, but you knew what kind of guy he was before you got involved with
him. You knew that.
Yeah.
That's true.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I can't, ain't nothing to argue with about that.
What is the Trey? What is the
I'm sorry, 30% of men will be virgins by the age of 30. That means they will have never even touched a woman, let alone a guy that got a lucky night. What I'm basically saying is largely women have the sexual selection. Now, with hypergamy in this modern situation, a lot of women are choosing to date the same men. And when men have options, like y'all was just talking about, y'all said, why would a man back out of sleeping with a woman if they're already engaging in it? Of course, if she doesn't want to. But what I'm trying to say is, if a man has sexual options, they tend to not do well with them. And so you have guys like Future, like the baby, who women just flock to, and they're a part of the problem. And if we really want to be truthful about our culture, that is a huge problem in our culture. Guys that are seen as more conservative, guys that are seen as more, I don't want this kind of behavior around me, twerking in restaurants, they're looked at as lame. If we're just honest, nobody would have wanted Will Smith unless he became Will Smith. I mean, the dude was a black man in school for theater. Let's be completely honest. Nobody's checking for Will Smith until he becomes Will Smith in our culture. And that's just the unfortunate part about our culture that we do have to deal with. And that's going to take accountability when it comes to our women and selecting potential mates. If we're just completely honest, our women are not selecting the right men as well. Now, I do say I agree with you in terms of resources and black men having to do better. But we do have to understand that 60% now, and this is in 2021, over 60% of African-American men are in the middle class or in the upper class, right? So where's the excuse now? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we talk about crime and black men being in prison from 2000, just in 12 years, from 2006 to 2018, 34% decrease, the fastest decreasing demographic in America, African-American men. we really have something to be proud of as African American men, because we're doing better statistically speaking than ever before. But what we have on our women's side is the top of the charts in terms of obesity, top of the charts in terms of single motherhood, top of the charts in terms of least likely to get married, and all these problems. But the excuse was that we didn't have enough resources. But we're doing better than ever before, and yet the women are still only 25% of them are ever going to get married, which is lower than it was in the 1960s by about 10%. So it's like, we're doing better, then why aren't we getting married? And I think that that's the problem that we're having, because there's so much competition on both sides. There's no community. We don't have any wealth in our community because it just bleeds out because of Versace, or people are insecure because everybody's trying to be single and attract everybody and wear all the flashy shit. That's the problem with our culture. And the women love the guys that wear the flashy shit, if we're just completely honest. And I just think that
that's very true. And they go about it the wrong way. I think the issue is that sometimes those women are glorified, just like you can be a baby daddy and now you can make $1 million business. You can get recognition. You can be seen as somebody. So then people think, okay, well, even if I don't get the ring, if I can be Moneybags' baby mama, I'm going to be set for life and I'm going to be famous. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of culture is what yields women to feel like to trade. I don't know. I think it's Lewis. I think that kind of culture is also toxic, and that kind of culture also contributes to it, because there is a part of baby mama culture that's glorified. I mean, Basketball Wives is a whole show with no wives and all baby mamas, and like, I mean, it is no, but you have to come on. Even if you didn't watch it, that was a moment in the culture. It was a moment in the culture when these shows about exes and these shows about their relationships and getting into their personal lives and all of that became a thing. And reality TV show was allowed those people to become somebody.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of because we don't.
That's part of the problem.
We don't have any control of our branding. If you look at who's making the money from all of these shows that humiliate African Americans, it ain't gonna be nobody that look like us, if we're just completely honest.
True.
We don't have any control of our image, and there are people that are willing, like you said, to just sell themselves out to the highest bidder for fame or for wherever the thing that they want. But generally, it's selfish reasons.
My boo, I'm just here for the rendezvous, and I came the whole damn crew, cause I've been feeling like you want me to. You say stop standing, so I can't help myself when I pull up.